Hey, this is Tim with TM Media again, and I had a response on YouTube here from Lima Bean Design, and basically it was a question. And I wanted to give a kind of a long answer because it brings up a good point, but which I wanted to share with all you. This person basically is getting back into the design industry, and his strength is an illustrator and InDesign. He was asking me. He doesn't have much of a strength in Photoshop, and is asking me if I don't have that on my resume, is my resume going to be thrown in the trash? Well, here's the long answer. When we look at resumes coming in the door, and if I see a resume with, say, 8 or more softwares on it as far as the required software section, I immediately know that person is not proficient in 8 different softwares. I know the person probably proficient in 1 or 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. But I immediately know that they're just kind of telling me what I want to hear. So keep that in mind, because if I see something like that, I'm more likely to throw out the ones that have too much software on it than the ones that don't. Because what we look for in being in this industry, what I've learned is not everybody knows everything. So you have designers that are good at some things and they're not good at other things. In our studio, we have layout designers that are great at doing layout design, brochures, catalogs, things like that. If I threw up a logo design, they could do it, but they couldn't do it as good as some of our guys that really do mostly identity work and logo design work. We have illustrators here. They do great at illustration. They're not layout designers. They're not graphic designers. They do great at illustration. Web design, same thing. We have web designers that are really good at programming, all the back end stuff, and then we have web designers that are very graphically knowledgeable, and they can do they can handle graphics pretty well. So you need to really, when you're writing up your resume, you really need to show off your strengths. And if you're not strong at something, then don't put it on there. If you're still learning Photoshop and you're kind of getting better at it. And another thing is Photoshop. If one thing there is to know in graphic design is definitely Illustrator and definitely InDesign. I would say those are top priorities compared to Photoshop, because Photoshop, in fact, we use Photoshop for digital effects and things like that, but a lot of times the photography is pretty much already done. We're either getting stock photography and just downloading it and inserting it into the whatever we're working on. So I would definitely say Photoshop is it is a requirement, and people definitely like to know that you know it. But I think this person has definitely got the 2 top softwares I'd look at first as far as a priority. So I hope this helped and made a good point. But yeah, I would definitely think about what you're putting on your resume, and again, go with your strengths, because that's usually what I ask the person right off the bat when I'm questioning them or interviewing them. I ask them immediately what their strength is. If they say graphic design, I said, well, what part of graphic design? You're great at layout. You're good at logo design or informational design. There's just packaging, whatever it may be, because it's a pretty broad term. There's a lot of specialties in it. So keep that in mind. I hope this video helped, and thanks for your response, and keep responding to us, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. Thanks.